Well, good morning, everyone. It is such a joy for me to see this wonderful group gathered, especially our wonderful students from this university, and in particular from our program in engineering. You know, it's not every day, I can assure you, that I have the opportunity to join my colleagues in sharing with you news of what is truly a transformational gift for our university. One that will take what is already a premier program at our university to the next level of prominence and distinction. So we are here today to announce an incredibly generous gift from our own trustee and former chair of our Board of Trustees, Darlene Shiley, that will enable this university now to move forward with its plans to transform its renowned Department of Engineering into a bona fide freestanding School of Engineering. As you all know, Mrs. Shiley has been devoted to her late husband, Donald, a man who throughout his lifetime took the skills and the devotion to engineering that he had developed and applied those skills and that talent through innovation and through an unflagging commitment to do work that will better human life. In addition to that commitment, he and Mrs. Shiley have demonstrated over many years an amazing commitment to this university, to enhancing the student experience and to our opportunities for teaching and learning. They have been long-term beneficiaries to this university, as you all well know. But this represents not only one of the most expansive and generous gifts from the Shiley family, it represents one of the university's greatest gifts in its entire history. Mrs. Shiley, as you know, with her wonderful husband Donald, have provided many gifts, notably helping to raise our MFA in theater and acting to a level of national prominence. And those of you who study in the sciences know that the amazing facility, the Donald P. Shiley Center for Science and Technology, moved our science programs into an entire different stratosphere because of their initiative to create the laboratories and the research platforms that so many of you use each and every day. So it is with incredible gratitude that I am thrilled to announce that we will now begin our plans to create at this university the Shiley-Marcos School of Engineering of the University of San Diego. Would you join me in welcoming our great benefactor to the podium, Mrs. Darlene Marcos Shiley.
Okay, who popped the balloon in my honor? I want to know, and I want to know right now. This is a magnificent occasion for me, and obviously I wish that my dear sweet husband was here to share this with all of us. I can't tell you how pleased I am, and look out to see a sea of blue and engineering and a signature sign that says the future starts today. Wherever you got those t-shirts, I'm going to pay for them because they're really cool. I guess you'd have to say that this gift is consistent with Donald's and my appreciation and belief in education. If it wasn't for education, neither one of us would have gotten to where we did in life, and I like to, because we had really poor beginnings. Donald became what was probably the first biomedical engineer in the country. I don't think he knew it at the time, but he did. And this is a man who had a hand deformed from a burn as a child, and he couldn't even, flex it, and he became a master machinist. And then he was an engineer, and he came up with the idea of a new and better tilting disc heart valve. And he didn't let any of those things stop him. He went to school as a veteran, as a graduate of World War II, if you will, and made something of himself. But he couldn't have done it without a chemistry scholarship, and he couldn't have done it without the GI Bill. And it's my understanding that there are quite a few veterans that are enrolled in this engineering program at what you will now all be graduates of the Shiley-Marcos School of Engineering. I kind of like the sound of that. Kind of cool. I say it all the time. Shiley-Marcos School of Engineering. In case you're wondering about the Marcos part, that's a nod to my family, to my Latina heritage. Grandparents came over on the pickle boat. It was Marquez, but they changed it to Ellis Island along with everyone else's names, I guess. But education was very important to my grandmother, and although we didn't have any money, she said, well, that doesn't stop you from, telling the kids, learn English, prosper, because this is who we are. We're in America. This is it. This is what we've chosen. And she felt that very strongly, and my mother did. So the Marcos part is kind of a nod to my Brazilian Latina heritage. And I'd like to think that Mom and Grandma and my sweet husband are looking down going, not too shabby, Shiley. So I like to think, you think I'm okay? Am I all right? Okay. And Donald believed in magnifying the power of philanthropy. We don't have, we got enough. I'm not going to starve to death after this. I could use a little starving, but that's all right. I'm not going to do it anyway. This department deserves to be a school of its own. It has a great deal to do with the outstanding faculty, clearly the administration led by Mary Lyons, an incredible group of VPs. Kathleen Kramer, who's led the engineering department so far and so well. She's a pretty happy camper today, I think. Sure, where is she? Smiling. Oh, yeah, she's looking happy. What's not to be happy about? And then you're going to hear from one of the students, because after all, ladies and gentlemen, students of the University of San Diego, it is all about you. Don't forget that. That's why we're here. Sometimes you forget, with all the things that you're doing, the importance of why we're doing it. And I'll walk around campus, or I'll sit down someplace, and a student sits down, and we start talking, and I listen to them talk about this campus and what it means to you, to them. And I am enthused and inspired to do what I can to make things a little bit better, a little bit easier for you. We will, over the years, establish more and more scholarship funds, specifically for the engineering students. Not like you need the help. I'm sure you're just all independently wealthy and just, having a whale of a good time here. But I think maybe you might need a little bit of help. Nathaniel's a particularly interesting student. He's a mechanical engineer. He is a veteran, was in the Navy, as was my husband. And as was quoted this morning, I kind of would like to see a few more Donald Pierce Shileys come out of the Shiley-Marcos School of Engineering. So, when we first started talking about the school, I asked, well, what would it cost to start this? There apparently has been some inflation since that first time, and the number that I've committed to is a little bit bigger than I had planned, but I've made the necessary adjustments. I've put my car up for sale. No, I haven't. That's not true. I'm not giving that puppy up. I bought it for my 65th birthday last year. Anyway, for those of you who are wondering, the amount of the gift is $20 million. Which ought to get us through the first year. Oh, God, I hope it gets us through the first year. I am honored. I am pleased. And I hope you can hear in my voice and see in my face and my demeanor how very proud I am of all of you. Staff, administrators and students, faculty. I wish I could have graduated from this school, but I don't think I could have gotten in. One of our late trustees one time said, Darlene, for triple the tuition, we'll let you in. You know, I'm thinking maybe this is sounding, of course, with inflation, it's probably, I don't know, 10 times tuition and you'll let me in. But I'm honored to be here with you. I'm honored to follow in the tradition of my grandmother's mirror test, which was every night when you get ready for bed, look in the mirror. If you don't like the person you see there, if you haven't done a good thing that day, then you better try a little bit harder the next day. So Grandma, Mom, and Donald, I've given it my best shot. It's up to all of you now to make me look good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Darlene. For myself and the faculty, this gift that enables us to move forward to establish a school marks a fulfillment of our vision for engineering and USD. Thank you, Mrs. Shiley, for making this possible. Engineering was founded at USD 25 years ago with a vision of being a school, but it started then as a department with physics. Electrical engineering was chosen for the first program because that was the best fit for San Diego and its technology orientation in communications and semiconductors, aerospace, and of course, the U.S. Navy. By 1991, we graduated our first class. We've always referred to them as the Fabulous Five. There were 6 of us on the faculty. From the beginning, the passion that our founding director, Thomas Kahneman, had for hands-on, mathematically based engineering was combined with the unwavering commitment of this university for the liberal arts, personified for us by then Provost Sister Sally Fury. So we created the nation's only required dual BSBA degree in engineering. While a School of Engineering was always our vision, our charge was to grow into that with more quality programs and more students while maintaining that vision. We needed to ensure that graduates emerge from our programs not only as engineers of the first order, but also as complete engineers who are thoughtful, informed, and engaged participants in the global community. This integrated vision of engineering is what makes a USD engineer, a Shiley-Marcos School of Engineering engineer, different from your typical engineer. Our charge was to grow, so we grew. First with the only industrial engineering program in the region, and next with mechanical engineering, which is now our biggest program. The industries our graduates served expanded into healthcare and biomedical, manufacturing, and energy. Our faculty worked hard to build up the profile for our programs and students and to create recognition for our distinctive hands-on dual degree approach. USD is committed to letting its undergraduates choose their majors only after they arrive as freshmen. And we've had to work to attract more and more students to our much more intense vision of an undergraduate liberal arts learning experience that can bring with it, though, the ability to make change and be a real change maker in our technological world. We've succeeded. Our student numbers have tripled in the last 8 years, and we have more than 360 students studying towards engineering today. So many of them are here, as I am, delighted by this news. As our graduates have worked with local industry, industry has supported us. From our founding, the Naval ROTC participants have made up a key constituency of our students. The U.S. Navy's Space War Systems Center and its research have been a resource and provided opportunities for our students, graduates, and faculty, along with SAIC, Viasat, Qualcomm, General Atomics, Solar Turbines, and SDG&E, among many others that are represented here today. They've all provided opportunities and support not only for our graduates, but for our students and their projects. I am pleased that so many of our friends and supporters from these organizations are here today. While I am proud of all our students, I've chosen one of them, Nathan Shear, to speak with you and share with you his experiences. I'm particularly pleased that I was lucky enough to pick a Navy veteran with an interest in biomedical engineering. He is an exceptional engineering student, but really his story is just one of many exceptions to the typical engineer that you can find among our students. It is with great pleasure that I introduce you to Nathan Shear.
Thank you, Dr. Kramer, and thank you, Ms. Shiley, for the incredible donation. I'm up here today because I want to tell you a little bit about my experience here as an engineering student and some of the things I've gone through. Now, originally I decided to become an engineer because it's kind of cheesy, but I wanted to build a Terminator. I mean, who doesn't like the Terminator, especially the nice one, you know? So before I came to USD, I served some time in the Navy, and because of that, I get the GI Bill, and I have to admit it's really awesome. They will pay for me to go to just about anywhere I want to go, obviously as long as I can get in. So I chose USD for a number of reasons. It's a private school, has a great reputation, the whole dual degree program that engineers get to have. And also I was living in Albuquerque at the time, so moving to San Diego wasn't the hardest decision I've ever had to make. We mentioned the dual degree program, and let me just explain a little bit what that is. As an engineering student, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, we have to take a lot of the, all the liberal arts courses that everybody else has to take, such as theology, philosophy, literature courses, and even some diversity courses. But we also have to do all the engineering courses as well, so it's a lot of work. But in the end, we're going to wind up with 2 degrees, which obviously looks awesome on a resume. And we get a degree, Bachelor of Science in Engineering, and then we also get a Bachelor of Arts. Now this is great and everything, but I think there's a little more to it than that. It's these extra courses really that separate us from our peers. And I had a professor who told me one time that the best design teams are not those with 5 engineers, but those with 2 engineers, and maybe a sociologist, an economist, and maybe even a marketing major. And the reason for this is that a wealth of backgrounds promotes a wealth of ideas, and the more ideas you have, the better chance that you're going to have a good one. And I think this is where USD is strongest. It really helps push its students to be passionate about their goals and to work together through their differences. Now, I didn't really realize how important this was until last summer. I had an internship, and now I started to notice, there was a lot of highly ranked interns there from a lot of great schools on the West Coast. And I started to notice a difference between myself and the other interns there, and it wasn't that I had technical knowledge that they didn't or that I was any smarter than they were. These guys were plenty smart. But I noticed that I just had an ability to communicate easily with a lot of the people that worked there, and I was able to move between project groups without any problems. And I think this is where the other interns struggled. They would get focused in a group, and then they wouldn't really branch out. Now, maybe I have some experience that other interns don't. I was in the military. I've seen some different places and everything. But there's another intern actually here, another student here that was an intern there, one other guy from USD, and they liked him so much they're actually keeping him on. They won't let him leave. He's going to be working there throughout the school year. So I wasn't the only one. Another great thing about the school is the hands-on program. You name it. If it has to do with manufacturing or machining, we've pretty much had a taste of it. Everything from welding to woodworking to precision metalworking and even rapid prototyping. And we had a lot of cool projects too. We got to make some really awesome guitars and from scratch, and a steam engine from scratch as well, and a lot of other cool projects. And this guitar that we built is really amazing. Now, I have no idea how to play guitar, but the thing just looks awesome hanging on my wall, so I love it. Someone once told me that in order to make a difference, you have to be different, and I think that's something that's important about this school. Every day I drive up Linda Vista Road and I see that billboard, which I'm sure a lot of you guys see. It says, we are change makers, and it has some people painting over graffiti. And I used to think, oh, that's nice, so USD is socially proactive. But now I know it's not just the changes that the students make in the community and the world around us. It's also the changes that we make on each other. Now, before I end, I just want to say, when I built that guitar, it took a lot of work, and it mostly took the help from all my teammates and all the other peers in my class. And now, because of that, I have something that I really can be proud of. And every day I see it hanging on the wall, and I am proud of it. And I think that that this is what the USD Engineering School does for its students, is that, as I'm sure all of you agree, when we leave here, we're all going to leave as people that we can be proud of. Thank you, guys.